And here it is, Jurassic World Battle at Big Rock, a short film we all pretty much knew was going to happen, but we weren't entirely sure when or how it was going to happen, because apparently there was a lot of secrecy surrounding this whole thing. Kind of surprising in this day and age, considering the plots for movies tend to get leaked all the time, yet somehow there was tight security around this thing. Tighter security than Jurassic Park has ever had, ironically enough. Apparently, Universal's original plan was to put this in theaters alongside Hobbs and Shaw, but at the last minute they decided to put it on FX at the end of a showing of Jurassic World. Strange because it's a sequel to Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, but whatever, and then put it on YouTube immediately afterward. I guess that actually was a better idea because that guarantees it reaches the widest possible audience. Because the Fast and Furious movies may be popular, but not everyone's gonna see them, so not everyone's gonna see this, and therefore not everyone's gonna be as hyped for the next Jurassic World movie. But getting it on the internet and on TV instead, that's gonna generate buzz, especially given the secrecy surrounding it. So what's it about? Well, it's set in a post-Fallen Kingdom world where the dinosaurs are now roaming around North America, and presumably elsewhere. But in particular, this focuses on just one brief little incident in which a family on a camping trip gets caught between, well, sort of between, a Nasutoceratops family and an Allosaurus on the hunt. I say sort of in between because at first the dinosaurs simply happen to meet on the campgrounds and the family is safe inside of their giant RV until they accidentally manage to draw the Allosaur's attention. So at only 8 minutes and change, there's not a whole lot to talk about with this film, because it's meant to be a very quick, intense moment that happens unexpectedly, kind of like the short itself, and is over just as quickly as it begins. What I can tell you is that, as that sort of incident, it plays out realistically. Let's get the human side out of the way first, though, because the humans are... well, they're kind of the sideshow to the dinosaurs for the most part. They're meant to be the people who are witnessing this event, but if I'm perfectly honest, there's not much to them. They're meant to be a blended family, as in a single father and a single mother got together, the two children they already each had aren't getting along, and there's a third new child, presumably the product of that union. But that's about all we really get in terms of, any sort of development. They're just sort of there to be there, and if I'm perfectly honest, there didn't need to be that many of them. Of the characters within the family, whose names honestly escape me, that's how unimportant they are, the father, mother, and daughter get the most dialogue, and by extension, the most to do. The infant is almost completely forgotten about until a certain point where he winds up moving the plot forward completely by accident. And the son didn't need to be there at all. Nothing against the kid playing the son, mind you. It's not his fault. It's more that the script didn't really give him any reason to be there. Yeah, they could have just as easily had the issue be that the daughter has issues with the sudden shift in her family dynamic. They didn't need to bring in a brother she didn't want. And I feel bad saying that. Like I said, it's not the kid's fault, it's the writer's fault. They really could have condensed that quite a bit. And in fact, if they had kept it as just the father, mother, and daughter, it might have done a better job of paralleling what we see with the dinosaurs. Like I said, with the dinosaur side of things, it's a family of Nasutoceratops. I hope I'm saying that right. It's a dinosaur name I'm not as familiar with as others, running afoul of an Allosaurus. And it's meant to be a family that's, well, I will go ahead and get into spoiler territory, although this particular detail is revealed literally right at the beginning as we're seeing the titles. The baby Ceratops right there, that is described as a newborn, the first dinosaur that we know of born on the North American continent. So where did it come from? Well, there is an answer. You may recall all the way back in the first Jurassic Park, the frog DNA they used to complete the DNA sequences for the dinosaurs allowed some of them to mutate and become male. That was life finding a way. So I think the implication is that that's happened with some of the dinosaurs that have escaped into the wild, and now we have a breeding population. So if that is the case, good job on continuity there. But anyway, the conflict basically with the dinosaurs that they bear witness to is that originally it's the mother and the baby. The Allosaurus comes after them, tries to get the baby. The mother fends it off as best as she can. Then the father shows up. It appears to be the father anyway. And when faced with that sort of threat, the Allosaurus decides to stop fighting and lets them go. And then after that, the Allosaurus notices the people in the trailer. Now, I feel like if it had just been father, mother, child, one child that is, with the human family, you could have gotten a clearer parallel of the human family against the Allosaurus vis-a-vis the dinosaur family against the Allosaurus. But because they threw in those extra characters, it didn't quite line up that way, which is unfortunate because it could have been a perfect parallel there. But that's not what happened. Though I have to say, the short film does a good job continuing to present the dinosaurs in a naturalistic way. Like I said, this is just the family witnessing something that otherwise might have probably happened with or without them being there to witness it. The Allosaurus is just on the hunt. She's not evil, she's not out to kill like a monster, she's just hungry, she wants to eat, and she eats meat. So she comes across the family, and yeah, we don't want to see the mother or the child get hurt, but as the humans themselves say, it's the natural process. So if these had been regular modern day animals, probably would have played out the exact same way, maybe with slightly less destruction. And even though the Allosaurus does present a threat to the human family by the end, it's, again, not because it's a monster, it's because it's hunting. That's what Allosaurus does. In fact, this whole idea of humans running into dinosaurs as they just wander around the countryside is expanded upon during the credits. There are little scenes sprinkled throughout that show how dinosaurs are starting to affect the everyday world. A dash cam showing a car that winds up careening off a cliff to avoid hitting a stegosaurus crossing the street. Or the Mosasaurus right here catching a shark that was probably being filmed for a nature documentary for Shark Week on the Discovery Channel. You have all of these little scenes throughout that show how dinosaurs are starting to affect the world, which is supposed to get us riled up for Jurassic World 3, and it winds up feeling almost by the end like it's humanity that's intruding on the dinosaurs, because the dinosaurs aren't doing anything malicious, they're just going about their lives. It's mankind that's having a problem whenever the dinosaurs get in the way. So that could be a sign of where Jurassic World 3 is going in terms of tone and plot. We will see. At this point, we don't really know anything about how Jurassic World 3 will go. We don't even know what the final title will be. But if that is the case, if this is a taste of what is to come, then Jurassic World 3 certainly will be interesting. It's probably not going to be a kind of monster movie the way the Godzilla films have been up to this point, nor does it really need to be, because, well, we already got one movie where a T-Rex was rampaging through a city, and it wasn't one of the better Jurassic Park movies. So was it worth it? Well, even taking into account that it could have been streamlined, and as a short film there's not really a whole lot to it, I do still think that Battle at Big Rock turned out pretty well. It's a nice little intense encapsulation of one moment. Perfect example of a tempest in a teacup. So it's on YouTube right now if you want to check it out because you haven't seen it yet. Now, of course, it's not as good as the original film, but then again, I think we're all expecting that by this point. What on earth can touch that movie? But I will say that considering the movie's primary reason for existing is to give us a taste of what the next film will be, the next feature-length film, well, it certainly has done that, and I am definitely intrigued. Jurassic World 3 could prove to be a different kind of dinosaur movie. Something not quite in vein with a monster movie, but possibly a different take therein. We will see, though. Like I said, this is just one particular glimpse into a post-Fallen Kingdom world. And who knows, this might be the first of many glimpses. There is allegedly an animated series in the works, Camp Cretaceous, I believe. So, what that will look like, we will find out. So anyway, those are my thoughts on Battle at Big Rock, and you're free to leave yours in the comments section below. Until such time as we meet again, this is the Omni Viewer signing off. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, as well as subscribe to the channel for more content of a similar nature. Also, check the description for links to our Twitter, DeviantArt, and Patreon pages, as well as the Amazon link for the novel Operation Red Dragon: The Daikaiju Wars Part 1, penned by yours truly. Thank you all, and we appreciate your support.